The chair has been used since antiquity, although for many centuries, it was a symbolic article of state and dignity, rather than an article for ordinary use. The chair is still used as the emblem of authority in the House of Commons in the United Kingdom and Canada, and in many other settings. In keeping with this historical connotation of the chair, as the symbol of authority, committees, boards of directors, and academic departments all have a chairman or chair. Endowed professorships are referred to as chairs. It was not until the 16th century that chairs became common. Until then, people sat on chests. Benches became widespread in feature of the ordinary use of everyday life. Committees, boards of directors, and academic departments all have a chairman or chair. Endowed professorships are referred to as chairs. It was not until the 16th century that chairs became common. Until then, people sat on chests, benches, and stools, which were the ordinary seats of everyday life. The number of chairs which have survived from an earlier date is exceedingly limited. Most examples are of ecclesiastical, seigneurial, or feudal origin. Chairs have existed since at least the early dynastic period of Egypt. C3100 BC! They were covered with cloth or leather, were made of carved wood, and were much lower than today's chairs. Chair seats were sometimes only 10 inches, 25 feet high. In ancient Egypt, chairs appeared in a great richness and splendor, fashioned of ebony and ivory, or carved in gilded wood. They were covered with costly materials, magnificent patterns, and supported upon representations of the legs of beasts, of the figures of captives. Generally speaking, the higher ranked individual was, the taller and more sumptuous was the chair he sat on, and the greater the honor. On state occasions, the pharaoh sat on the throne, often with a little footstool in front of it. The average Egyptian family seldom had chairs, and if they did, it was usually only the master of the household who sat on a chair. Among the better off, the chairs might be painted to look like the ornate, inlaid, and carved chairs of the rich, but the craftsmanship was usually poor. The earliest images of chairs in China are from 6th century Buddhist murals of steel, but the practice of sitting in chairs at that time was rare. It was not until the 12th century that chairs became widespread in China. Scholars disagree on the reasons for the adoption of the chair. The most common theories are that the chair was an outgrowth of indigenous Chinese furniture, that it evolved from a camp stool imported from Central Asia, that it was introduced in China by Christian missionaries in the 7th century, and that the chair came to China from India as a form of Buddhist monastic furniture. In modern China, unlike Korea or Japan, it is no longer common to sit at floor level.